Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Beautiful Tuesday afternoon out there, and welcome to the Tuesday's edition of In the Newsroom, veteran edition for that matter. My name is Oladeyola Nitokun, and before I introduce the veterans in the house, our leaders by excellence. You recall that the last few days, thereabout, there is this face-off between the president, Muhammadu Buhari, and of course, the state governors. And that's what today's topic, the first topic we'll be looking at, and it's titled, Insecurity, Economy of the Country, Buhari Governors at War. And I know as leaders and veterans, they really know what we're talking about. And like I said, it's just in the last few days, and the president and the governors have been on each other's neck. The second topic says, 2023 polls, you must remain neutral. That is the president to Nigerian Army. And of course, the third topic, credit to the former president, Osbc, he says, voting based on emotion will destroy Nigeria. Welcome again to the newsroom, the Tuesday's edition. Smollett, Adito, you still have been loved.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being around.
Yeah.
We did miss you in the last.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that
personal issues.
Family issues.
I lost my mother-in-law.
I can see.
So, and we needed to bury her.
You are okay for that?
Well,
Sir, I'll be budgeted
because
allow me. Otherwise, you will hold that.
I mean, I say, what's the more? We have put that there.
Oh, but you look good. I will pay on this
Thank you so much, everybody, for their support, for your support.
We can charge you people.
With you go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, well,
we thank God for bringing us here again today.
And I'm happy and I glorify God for your health and being around to further propel us into doing the right thing. You're welcome, sir. We are expecting the
third leg.
Your younger veteran.
Yeah. Tripod.
I'm very sure he will soon join us. As well as I'm starting from you.
Yes.
Perhaps we'll be busy last week. Let me start from you. As a leader, and that's in group between the governor, 36, and of course the president. Also, when the president was vociferous, stop stealing the local government funds, and it started from that.
Yeah. It has become news to us because we have not been used to it. But that's democracy.
Is it news? You call it news?
You see, everybody was saying, over the years we have been used to a system in which you can't challenge the authority. So the president challenged the authority and they also fired back. That's the beauty of democracy. Because at the end of the day, the two ends are at fault. They are at fault. The president is at fault. For 7 years, you have kept quiet watching them do whatever they like. And they themselves also, for 7 years, you have been under this insecurity. You never said anything about it until the man gave you the salvo. That spell you on to say, this Baba, he wants to buy Jelen wow. That before they fired back. So it is something we should have been seeing over time. And I'm happy that we have started seeing it. It doesn't matter which political party you belong to. You must be able to tell your leader you are not doing well. Mr. President, this is that. As a body, they should. Maybe if you are a political party member, you may not be able to do it exactly your own. But this one will go what Americans call bipartisan. You go about it, both parties. If you are 3 parties in the country that have governors, all of you combine together and challenge the governor, the president. During which time you cannot say, oh, you APC boys or you PDP boys, you ABGA boys. No, it is a one entity, governors forum. Even though it is unconstitutional, it has come to be accepted as a tradition.
Okay.
We have. So we are seeing it, and I want us to be seeing it the more in the new dispensation. Governors must be able to challenge the president. The president must let us know where they are weak. Of course, the governors, many of them have not done well in the local government. They have chopped. They have under the new dispensation been using local government. What belongs to local government, they use it and take the glory.
Okay, sir. Initially it was what one would call sub two, and it initially came from the Minister of State, Budget and Planning, Clem Agba, and later it was, I would call it frontal from the president.
I think we have to look at some things here fundamentally. We are not practicing the presidential system of governance in this country that the American system will plan it. The president has a right to ask for certain things, but he doesn't have a right to query the governors. He can only query the governors constitutionally, and this is where this problem lies now. Now, if he queries them,
even when there are infractions, as far as
if there are infractions, let people go to court. But the president has no right. You have 3 tiers of government.
There's no test government.
That's what it should be in the presidential system. No, that's what it should be in the presidential system.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And so, since it's not that way, the president, even if the local government is under the state government, the local government is not under the federal government. And there's a rule, there's a law that says this local government must have their allocations directly. So if this local government don't have their allocation directly, they have local government, they have what they call a gun. Let them go to court and challenge the authorities of this state governors for withholding the allocation and giving them paltry sum of money to run what cannot be run. That's one thing. 2, I agree that the 2 of them are wrong. Are wrong in saying that there has been insecurity in this country for a very long time. Some of the governors have been talking. They have been lambasting the federal government, even within the same party. I remember that in the Southwest here, we started this Amateku thing in the Southwest because of this insecurity thing. And there were loggerheads within the federal government there, saying that the federal government was not doing well. And the federal government said it was not going to allow them to use the Amateku for the purposes they were set up for. That was the first thing that started the whole hala. And I was happy then that it happened, especially from the same party structure. Now, Akere Lulu, who happens to be the chairman of the governors forum then, came up and said, we here in the Southwest, we're going to stand on our Amateku, and nobody's going to take it away from us. And that was the way it was going then. For the president to now turn back and say local government funds have been held by the state governments, the local government is going to court. The federal government cannot go to court on behalf of the local government to say that their funds have been. But I think what the federal government should have done was to separate this allocation completely and say the allocation that's coming from the local government should not go directly to the state government, but should go to each local government individually. But since the local government are subsumed in our own democratic system under the state government, the state will still come back to the state government too. And the state governments have not been fair enough too. Can you tell me that allocation meant for local government will be used to build bridges, will be used to build marketplaces that are not even in this local government? What happened in the past?
One of the functions is this health center, primary school,
look, all these
markets.
Things, if they want to do this, local governments must know what is their own priority.
There must be felt needs.
Yes.
Expressed.
They must go to this local government and say, okay, you my people, that this local government chairman, what do you need in this area? What do you need? It's not the same thing that
where their funds are honored.
Yeah. No. When they have their funds, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's where it should be.
Okay.
What thing happened in Lagos years back when a governor asked the local governments, what do you need in your areas? This local government mentioned all the things they needed, thinking that the state government would do everything for them free of charge. what the state government did at that time was to say, okay, go ahead and do all these things they said they needed for them. And when the funds came, the amount that they used in doing these things were withdrawn from the government. That was when the government sat down and said, so these people just deluded us, they betrayed us to think that we will have that money. But you see, the local governments are going to be behaving very well when they even had the funds at that time. They will have their funds, they won't. There's so many local governments that will just sit down and distribute money among the staff, among the political functionaries. And they go away.
And when the government comes back,
they sit down again and
they regard
as personal thing. And so when all these things started happening, when all these things started happening, maybe that was when the state government now felt, oh, we cannot be sharing the funds anyhow.
Okay. So let me back to you now. Perhaps the justification by presidential spokesperson, maybe can we look at he described, I'm quoting a massive, perhaps the president has to come out, massive revenue accrued to state governors since COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, that one, it is.
That also went to local government.
Yeah, and the central government that and know how much he released.
That's it, and that's also relevant.
Yeah, they know how much they released.
Okay.
And so we cannot question the presidency on this. They know how much they released and to what extent has
development commensurate.
Yes. Let's even restrict it to COVID. So COVID was an intervention. It was something that was not planned for. It came and the federal government released money. Today, one way or the other, we can say we have gone past COVID. But when it lasted, when it remained with us, how much interventions did we see local governments? Yes, a few states did fine. Maybe we can say even here in Osun there were local government health centers, etc., etc. But the presidency knows how much intervention funds it gave to them. You see, it is all because in Nigeria, the state governments have arrogated unto themselves the powers that, local governments belong to the states. Yes, ordinarily, because you have to descend on the state capital before you move into the local government. But you see, our National Assembly must come out strongly to say, this is what we want. We are the National Assembly. Give us a 3-tier administration of system and let it remain. We can start doing it in this new dispensation coming shortly. We are just about 6 months away from a completely new dispensation. Let the House, the National Assembly, be firm in their decision. So we are your representatives. This is what we want. So that no state government can go and do what they used to call it, joint allocation and things like that. Let's have, when I remember very vividly in the 1990 years, 1991, to up to about 1997, that the local governments, when we had SDP, we had the PDP, SDP, NRC, the local governments functioned. They functioned. Osun was a newly created state. The people like Tajuddin and Ladipo, the man, SDP man in Ejibu, they were doing, you could see, because money was going to them straight. Maybe because we had a DAIC then, military administrator in the head of central, and then civilian government. But our politicians had not developed this egocentricity as they have now. In those days, here we had the late Isiaka Adeleke. He was also a new man in governance, and so he could understand. People had not arrogated onto them the emperorship that many governors are today in our country. Today they are emperors. You want to see them, and it takes a long time. It doesn't matter if you are what we call a Speaker of the House of Assembly. It doesn't matter if you are a member of the House. This must stop. And until they stop, we cannot get it right. We must allow the local governments to run, because they also contest elections. And the sum total of it is that all over Nigeria, today you hardly find anywhere in the country where you have local government administration properly elected. Even those who are semblance of election, the party in power takes over about 90-95% of the local government, whereas it is not supposed to be so. Elsewhere, they appoint and put people in charge.
Yes, let me back to you. It's not just as an issue, and that has to do with constitutional amendment. It raised the issue of the elected local government chairman. It raised the issue of the direct funding. It raised the issue of the joint allocation. Look at the process of amending the constitution, because these are the constitution, especially the issue of the joint allocation is already in the constitution. But somebody will say, it's called to say, okay, because joint allocation, it didn't say spend their money on their behalf.
Yeah, no, I think you have to differentiate certain things here. When you say joint allocation, what do you mean by joint allocation? The moment you have joint allocation, it means the two of you can spend the money the way you want it. And once this local government council were selected, not elected, then you now have the governor loading it over there. Yeah. That if you don't behave very well, we knew how you got there, you can be removed. And so that's where the problem lies. And so when this local government becomes subservient to the serving government, then everything goes haywire. And that's where you now find out that during this joint allocation, now for the constitutional amendment, you have been reviewing the constitution for some time now. Have they ever gone to that level at all?
You don't spoke about the power,
yes.
the ownership of the government.
Yes.
Have
they gone to that level at all to say, okay, now we must have these three tiers of government well demarcated? They haven't gone there at all. Nobody's talking about that.
Some states have aligned.
Yes. So those who are not aligned,
looking for 21st states.
Those who are not aligned are far more than those who are aligned. And if you have a state
aligned, seriously,
you see, if you have a state that is very rich, that's in their afford to say, okay, give the local government their funds. But the state that is not rich and want to lay a footprint in that state for a government, that government will not want to release local government funds. And that's where the problem lies. You don't arrogate powers that are not yours, but yourself. But now, since the local government administration too had already reneged, you do what you have to do.
What do you think they would have done?
Look, this election. It starts from election. It starts from election. Once you allow the governor to have input to say this, the person I want to be here, this person I want to be here. Once that continue to happen, then you continue to have problems.
But in our country, can you do that? In this state,
it's not a way.
Can you say?
Let me finish. You see, I would have interrogated you when you were talking. One thing is this: it's so clear that the electorate are not doing what they are supposed to do.
What would they have done?
Now look at the electorate. You want to elect
the powers.
Now
the powers of the governors.
The powers of the governors. Once you say you want to elect somebody, if within my own community, I feel that what the government is putting on my neck is not enough for me, or it's not okay for me, the community will rise up and say no, they're not taking it. They are not taking it. And when that happens, it will happen. If we ourselves are just aligning with the governors and saying whatever they do for us to take, that's where the problem starts. But when you now say no, you don't want it.
How many of you can say no?
No, small wait.
How many can say no?
Yes, let me finish.
No, I'm just trying. I just want you to help us.
You don't interview me. He is the one interviewing me.
He's putting you on your toes.
No, you can't put on my toes. I was putting on the toes when he was talking. I just kept quiet. The thing is this. Like something all around, all in the shoe state now. Some people are saying, this is a king you have elected for us, we don't want. And they rose. This is somebody we want. We align with him. If the communities can rise, these local government things, and say, okay, the election you're going to have for us, don't unpick for us.
He goes to another community to unpick.
No, you can't go to another community. When it's turn of my own community to pick, you can't go to another community. That's what you do. They're not fighting for our rights. Because you start saying you're ready to rise to the governors, you start having these problems.
You can't fight for your rights when you are an underdog. The smallest, they have become
let me finish.
Oh, I thought you have finished.
No, I've not finished. You just took it from me.
Okay.
The underdogs. Let's just finish our thoughts before if you interject, you won't allow me to finish my thoughts. Now, the moment you now cite, who are the underdogs here? You're talking about underdogs. Who are the underdogs? The community is not the underdog. The communities have the powers, but they are not exercising their powers. They are not exercising their rights, and that's where the problem lies.
Okay. So let me
has he finished?
I think he has.
Has he finished?
But let me.
Underdog is an underdog. You have been made to become an underdog because of gubernatorial power. Lucy, you want to tell us all these communities? How many? The community, there is a divide and rule system in our country. How many, the community, maybe you have 10, 15 leaders, he pockets 10 of them. The remaining 5, you can't. So that is why the governors all over the country have become emperors. When they talk, you don't talk. Even when it comes to political, they'll tell you this is the person who will be the local government chairman. Sikina, you can't do anything. Didn't we see people carrying placards in our state? Did it change anything?
No. I don't want to finish. I don't want to forget that. Let me tell you one thing. That is what I was saying. It's because we have reneged our responsibilities. We have reneged in our responsibilities. We have abdicated our roles to the governors. If a governor can pick who will vote, is this 10 community leader will vote? That's what I will vote.
Thank you very much.
Look at the reaction of the Nigerian Governors Forum now, and practically describing the president's government as failure in governance.
For once.
Failure in
For once, they have been able to come forward because the president also, even rightly, he said the honestness or how So it is something that should have been, we are learning and we are getting it. I'm happy that it is coming the twilight days of this administration so that any set of new governors who come will know that we can unite and challenge poor governance in future. We can unite and, you see, but you who must unite must also deliver good governance. So that you don't allow whoever becomes the president in future to also tell you some basic things that you have left undone. We are learning. It's a process that we are all learning. But I'm happy that for once the governors are able to stand eyeball to eyeball with the president and say, okay, who will blink first? But they have tried. We must commend them.
So let me unity.
Good, you're coming from the unity side.
Unity by the governors, 30 state governors, under the Nigerian Governors Forum. Somebody said it's all about irrespective of party affiliation.
No.
And I'm coming. The local government autonomy, one. But look at even the autonomy of the state judiciary and legislature.
Good.
And don't forget, we have just mentioned it now. They are asked to 24 states to concur. The process of amending the constitution. Are we not back to the emperorship? Small mentioned.
Let me just say one thing here. You are talking about unity of the governors now.
Is it party affiliation?
Yeah, you are not talking about unity of the people. I was talking about unity of the people the other time. You said it's not possible.
Governors are
Let me finish. 36 state governors.
Yes.
They are united now. Who says that the community cannot unite? I say this is what we want for our community. We want town hall meetings in our communities. Why don't we say, okay, this is exactly the incoming government will, this is what we present before the incoming government, this is what we want. And if that government does not meet it, it's bound to have some problems. All the governors are always talking about second term. If a community does not agree with the governor, that government is probably going to have problems there. But you don't see that as being practicable. If the government can unite and say, Mr. President, you are doing the wrong thing here. This is all right. When Mr. President, before the president said what they were doing was wrong, none of them have spoken. A few of them, well, maybe a few of them
spoke. Delta.
Yeah, a few of them spoke.
Count me out.
Yes. Now, but the problem is
out of 36.
A lot of us are cowardly. We are cowardly. When our rights are taken from us, we now begin to shout. Why don't you stand right and say, these are my rights, and I want my rights not to be taken away from me? The communities that will cry out, they don't have to go ahead and destroy things. They don't have to go out, they just wait when election comes. But because we have been fed with all this poultry song, take 5 naira go and vote, take 15 and go and vote. We must resist all this. Until we resist all this, then we cannot stand our rights. The rights will still be taken away from us all the time. And that's what we must enlighten the public right now and say, you must fight for your rights. If you don't fight for your rights, you're not going to develop.
I agree with you to that extent.
One of the steps taken by the president was pull out NFIU, Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit out of EFCC on May 2019 to serve as watchdog of the movement of local government funds from their cover to other states or some other places. It was, you see, as it works, you see.
It is clear that it has not worked. If it had worked, we will not be discussing what we are discussing. The local government system remains almost moribund. It's only on paper. So until we as a nation become self-righteous to understand and say, oh, this thing is bad, the local government is the bottom place where everybody, the poor, exist there. Until we are able to demarcate that and say they must be given their due, irrespective of whichever person is in power. All these things are on the governors. Most of them are on ego trip. I am in charge. That's why I call them emperors. They are in charge and they don't want to see any opposition, anybody, any semblance of opposition. It doesn't have to be an opposition. This thing belongs to my local government. Give it to me. But we in Nigeria, our politicians have turned everything into come and see me. See me before you get your own share. No, it is not right.
They never see us as voters. They see us as lords.
Yes. Up to today, many states, a judiciary unit of the same government that's supposed to be equal, they still cannot take their what do you call it?
What's due to them?
Yes, because the governor is an emperor. They will tell you this, but whether you like it or not, there is this system of divide and rule. He appoints you. These are some of the problems. You want a high court judge. It is he who appoints.
Constitutional crisis.
So when
that's constitutional.
So when you have to raise your head, you have look. Let us go to the federal level. Before Ola came onto power, they had to do a subtle, what do you call it, 14 of them. They couldn't come out straightforwardly to say our guy is not doing fine.
But the rest left them.
Oh yeah, I mean, you see, if everything had been done, a high court, a Supreme Court judge should be able to challenge the Chief Justice, because he is supposed to be primus inter pares. But you have to be careful in the system of governance and operational modalities. If you are not careful, if you don't allow your boss to see you that you are in his good books, he can deal with you.
I don't believe that topic. Another revelation that came out was how nine states, all producing states, spend their reservation. The president also came out to ask them, how have they spent our 100 billion?
Who should ask them?
Ask them.
Ask Nigerians. Okay, you're talking about Nigerians now. You're not coming back to what I said earlier on. You see, the point is this: for as long as you just stand by and watch these people do what they want to do, and you're not raising any finger, everything just keep on going the way it's going.
Why do we stand by?
Oh, smaller, please.
Why do we stand by?
Please. I was not interventing when you were
talking. It is not. It is
It's about you.
Why do we stand by? Why do the Nigerian people stand by?
No. You let me answer my question now. See, I didn't interject you.
This interjection is not a deliberate. I mean, I say why? It is for you to carry on.
No, you have to even ask me. Let me just finish what I'm saying. You see, what I'm saying is this, Dayo. The moment you say Nigerians should react, it means you are saying Nigerians should not stand by. If the president says, go and ask them. We have a lot of states. Look at Delta, for example. If you look at how much Delta has taken over the last 3 years, you don't ask yourself, what has the Delta has gained from the derivation that the government has taken? But people are not just talking. Because some people are just there, making their money and giving some people some portions, some money. And once these people are comfortable, they just sit back. They won't do anything. And so that's why I say, the people will start standing up and say, we are groaning under the yoke of poverty, under the yoke of hunger. Let us take a mantle in our hands and say, no, enough is enough. And that's what the president was trying to say.
You don't see the enormous power of the governors.
You're talking about the enormous power. Who gave them the powers? Hey, that's what we're coming to. Who gave them the powers? If you come to that, let me tell you one thing. If you come to a point where we have to give, if you don't cut it, you are going to keep on suffering. Or are you not telling me that the way is going down? You should continue to go that way. You should continue to go that way.
Before we leave that topic, I wanted to run your last thing on the powers of Argon, Nogi in terms of local autonomy. They are supposed to be pressure group.
Well, yeah, pressure. But particularly Argon is never a pressure group. Argon is to take care of themselves.
So you don't see them.
No, they are not. No. You see, they cannot fight. They cannot fight because who put them there? If I talk, I will say I am interjecting him.
I'm not.
He spoke a short while ago and was saying, the man as an emperor has positioned himself, his own bootlicker, into the community you are talking about.
The system.
Into the system. So you cannot do. You say until and unless we are able. He has a good point. The people must fight for their right. But you don't fight for your right when there is divide and rule. There is deliberate divide and rule. So that I gave you a figure, I said 15. The governor pockets 10 of them. He said, go on, the 5, go on. They will shout and shout and shout. Nothing will come out of it. It is not as if in any local government you don't have people who are mouthpiece of the local government. But how much has their voices been heard? It is not even allowed to be heard. Somebody will subsume it. It is the Nigerian mentality. Yes, I agree with you. Must we keep on going like this? No, it should not. But you see, it must have a legislative backing. This is what I'm trying to say. Must have a legislative backing.
Dara, before we finish this, let me give my final word on that. This legislative backing that we're talking about, if you are waiting for legislative backing, you will never have it. It will come to a point when you start suppressing people, oppressing people. It will come to a time that the thing will blood you. And be an explosion. I don't want us to wait until that time. When it comes to that time, it will bloody.
Okay, shall we go to the second topic? And I know we will continue to have this topic until we have a perfect.
It might take a longer time, but we will be working towards that. Okay. Let's see what will come in the next 6 months when this administration goes and the new one comes, and we see how those ones who will come, how they will react to local government.
Okay, so I'm back to you. Second topic. The 2023 polls, you must remain neutral. But to Nigeria. That charge.
That charge is loaded. Very, very loaded. Loaded in the sense that we have heard a lot of rumors about what people believe could likely happen. Some people are saying that the 2023 election will never hold. And what will happen if it doesn't hold? Some people are saying that maybe the election will take over. That's number one. Number two.
Those are rumors.
No, rumors. Yes, rumors. They are not. They don't hear some things on the ground. Those rumors will not come.
But they are shown by the president.
But that the rumors now, with what President just said now, you see that the rumors are coming to light. You must remain neutral. Why didn't you tell the police you must remain neutral?
No, perhaps.
Why the military? The military must not intervene in election process.
Perhaps saying don't be APC, don't be PDP, don't be Labour.
It's not the military. Don't be NSP. It's the police that should have been told that, not the military. The military as a force is meant to prevent any incursion into the country of any foreigner and things like that, not the local governments. Okay. And so by them saying that, look backwards, look inwards, and think. He's saying the obvious that that he has had Nigerians say, and people are believing that the president will not want to leave office.
No, he has told the world.
That's why he kept on shouting.
He was in the economic government.
That's why, because of what he had, was why he went to all these places to say it. And because of what he's listening to now, is why he's coming out now to say, military, don't be partisan.
Okay. Okay, it's well. Let me. The president went try to say remain apolitical, operate within the framework of the constitution.
That is what a president should tell the people, particularly when he is no longer going to be on the ballot. If you were going to be on the ballot, he might say it 20%. He wants to curry favor. This time he has no such attractions to curry. So you must be able to tell them. But Zaya has told us what perhaps we didn't know. Yes, whatever it is.
The man is bet on.
He has to leave. It is a call. I mean, he has spent 2 terms, or he is about finishing 2 terms, and he has never, on any occasion, told anybody that he would overstay for 1 week. He has never said so. So we must take him for what he is and what he presents. Yes, he is supposed to tell the military. Maybe he's taking his time. He finishes with the military. Some other time he will come to the police. The police is election. Everybody is being told be neutral, be neutral. He himself wants to be neutral, etc., etc. But we know that Nigeria, there is always there can't be a smoke without fire. But for this election, you see, the country has gone beyond military taking over again. We are not saying it is impossible, but you have a country which intervenes when military boys in recent years.
Mali?
Yes, in Mali, in Guinea. Yeah, they do it. Nigeria does it. So what will Nigeria go and tell AU? What will Nigeria go and tell United Nations that some boys have taken over? Where? What do they want to say? Today, it is no longer fashionable to be to come in as a military dictator. You can only do that in some pockets of places where there have been military interventions one way or the other underneath. Mali for a long time has been struggling and struggling. Burkina Faso has been doing similarly. But they come and immediately they tell you this is what we want to do. In Nigeria, this is a very large country. It's going to be very difficult. We are not saying it is impossible. No. But our position in this country, our position in West Africa, our position in the
I was mentioning maybe ends the assurance by the president, knowing very well the position of some region and of course the world.
You can't just say you want to come and be a military dictator again. It is possible, but it's remote. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. You have to look at all that Nigeria stands for. What do you tell the United Nations? What do you tell the EU? What do you tell AU? What do you tell ECOWAS?
Most of Nigeria, the biggest in Black Africa.
So this is why I'm saying now. Let
me be back to you. The president will also, one of the, he said, I'm quoting here, support the civil authority by providing a peaceful environment to enable its successful conduct, of election.
I'm still on my feet. Military has no role to play in elections. I'm just saying that because it's only in the aberration in Nigeria that you invite military to come and take certain positions in elections. No, the police is supposed to do all that job. Not the military, constitutionally, the military has no right to come and do that. But the president is saying that we all know that there will be a smoke without fire. Some insinuations would have been going on the ground. Some that begin to burn in the offices now. Some are bent on the fact that this election will not hold. Maybe that's why the military will come in to make sure that the election hold, because the police may not be too strong enough to withstand this arson that's going on. But ordinarily, it is the place that the president should give the charge to. Make sure that this election stands. Make sure that this election holds. And do all you can do your powers. Whatever it is that you need, the federal government is ready to give unto you to make sure that you secure all the places where we are going to hold elections. But the moment the military is coming in as a charge from the president, sniff. He who has ears, let him hear.
Have you landed? I want to comment on that.
I want to add to it. What we'll soon take. The president has gone to so many countries of the world, sub-region, world programs, one international engagement or the other, and he has gone to commend the military, and I'm quoting, professionalism exhibited in the conduct of Anambra, Osun, and the state election. I want to say that combination is part of a slave or
look, in our country, unless we are deceiving ourselves, there is no election that the military doesn't come in one way or the other. They will first do show of force. They will do it like that. Look, 4 years ago, in Port Harcourt, did the military not take over almost the election?
Yes.
Yes. You see, so this is what I'm saying. I agree with you. It is not their constitutional right, but we have a tradition. Sometimes they come in. They will come and stand at some entry points.
And the kind of Nigerian democracy.
Yes. So don't let us look at it from a purely. When he talks about things that are supposed to be, but this is a country that not everything is supposed to be. We do things that don't merit our doing it, but we get away because we use it to help ourselves one way or the other. Ordinarily, you should not even position soldiers. Sometimes you find them 2, 3, 1 kilometer away.
Whereas in the early days, there's also in the bush.
When you see them, when you are going to vote and you see them, don't tell them to be away. You give everything to the police. They will be doing the minor jobs, road check. There is no election I have voted in. I have not met military people mounting road blocks. So people like that are what the president can tell. Don't be neutral. I agree with you. There is a
don't overbehave.
Yeah, but I do know it as a matter of fact that the military that will take over in Nigeria will have explanations to give to the world. It will have explanations. Nigeria is a very sensitive country. That the Americans, the European Union, they will not take Nigeria having a military dictatorship right now in 21st century. They won't take it. And we will be the worst for it. We will be the worst for it. So no soldier will want to try. But as a president, he must begin to tell them, because you never can tell. I'm not saying it is an impossibility, but it's a very, very remote probability.
My last thing on that is simply this. Let us be proactive. You see, I'm saying something. What I'm saying here now may sound foolish, may sound stupid. But in months to come, I will remind you of this thing I'm saying. Because one thing is this: if all of us just stand by.
So I will hold the election.
Wait, I'm not saying we don't hold the election. I'm not saying we don't hold the election.
Yes.
We not go and disrupt the election. I won't do that. I won't even advocate people should disrupt the election.
I will just say you should be optimistic.
But the point I'm saying is this: apart from being optimistic, let the citizenry too be ready. As every other military take over all over the country, all over the world, they all have a reason for doing it. If you are talking about reasons, they all have a reason. But the point still remains like this: please equip the police force. Equip them very well to tackle whatever problems are coming. Having military on the scene, looking at what is happening. If the military decides to get involved too much, they might get intoxicated. And that will be problematic for this country.
Okay, so let's go to the third topic. So that I'm back to you. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was receiving the Apex Cultural Group TV land of Benue, and this statement: voting based on emotion will destroy Nigeria.
Yeah, he is right. He is very right. But that is the Nigerian experience. People vote on emotions. You see, the former president saying that will not stop the average man on the street from voting emotionally. So we have not developed to the level that you can reason. People don't reason when it comes to election. That is why politicians will just go out and covet for themselves a set of people. This is my strong area. This is what is all electioneering about? It is to attract somebody to you and say, okay, go and vote for me. It is emotional. Oh, I like candidate A, I don't like candidate B. What are the reasons? Because he belongs to this ethnic group, because he belongs to this religion. But for all those nonsense, or these things are nonsense, but it is part of us. It will degenerate, or rather, we will get over it with time, not now. We will get over it with time. The 10 to 15-year-old boys and girls, they are the ones, because even the 30-year-old currently now have taken emotions onto their side. They will tell you it's either ethnicity, religion, money, etc. The moment these factors all come in, they are emotional. You are not using your reasoning power to vote, and it has been a Nigerian experience, and it will remain so for some time to come. Someday in future we will get there.
So even after 20-something years, democratic setting?
Yes. Because by our nature, the way perhaps God wired us, we are too emotional people. You want to think of family. You want to think of your ethnic group. You want to think of your religious group. You want to think of... No, the white man, many of them, they don't think of all these things. But we respect our culture. We say, our local, any local, any lonely. That's... Or he belongs to this religion. He belongs to this religion. Oh, I am a Fulani man. No, Fulanis have not done well for us. Somebody will tell you I can never vote for Fulani. Somebody will tell you I can never vote for Yoruba. Somebody will tell you I can never vote for Igbo. That is not reasoning. It is based on emotion, but it is part of our life as a people, as a nation.
So I still on Obasanjo's comment, and let me make a quote. If Nigeria is ready to get it right, 23 election should be a turning point.
Turning point from where? From a normal way of voting. Turning point from where? Turning point from a normal way of life. He's only saying that if you were into politics today, you need to say what he said. Let me tell you one thing. What he would have said was that Nigeria should not be too emotional. Okay? You see, we would have agreed if you said too emotional. Emotion all over the world. When we talk about politics. Politics is always an emotion-filled activity. Emotions rule politics. If somebody was in government and behaved badly to me personally today, and tomorrow he wants to come back for the second time, will you ask me to go and vote for him? Emotionally, I won't vote for him, no matter what he might have done to me, either it is constitutional or not constitutional. If I feel bad about that, I won't vote for him.
Even if it's wrong, or if it's right.
Look at in America too. Trump, you know, people really like Trump for one reason or the other. Not because of certain policies, but because of one thing or the other emotionally. And that is what we all over the world, emotion rules. But we must not be too emotional. We must look at certain things, certain facts that would dictate the movement of the country. Certain facts that would dictate the progress of the country. But have we gotten to that point in Nigeria today?
So that
a married man, if he's to vote, will he be emotional or reasonable? He can't be reasonable.
So I want to look at contradiction in the terms of OBG. One of the things he told the people is that middle belt region of the country should continue to advocate for rotational presidency. I mean, see what talking. You say contradiction, emotional.
It's the request for rotational presidency, not an emotional issue. It is emotional.
That's what I'm saying. I want to ask you.
It is emotional.
Okay.
You so like Saya said, or as Saya said, the statement is too broad. If you had said, don't be too emotional, be less emotional, etc. But the average Nigerian voter is emotional. You are going to vote for candidate A because you like the way he smiles. It's emotional. You are going to vote for him because of the money he has promised you.
Even that's from former president. Yeah. Middle belt, fight for rotation presidency. Is that not emotional?
Well, that's what I said. It is, everything is emotional. Politics, as I have said, is an emotional activity. You can't just, until we get to a higher realm. Before we can say, oh, let me put emotions beside and let me reason. You reason when you can say, this man, he is not capable. He hasn't got the wherewithal. This man won't profit Nigeria.
And not about ethnic, not about religion. Not about
in that case, you forget about money, you forget about the ethnicity, you forget about religion. But when you live in a country where people are saying Christian, Muslim, that is emotional. And so look, the fact is that Baba Obasanjo has been a politician before. He's still a politician now, although not
a partisan.
Yeah, no. He has his own mind.
He told us he's no longer a partisan politician.
Oh, he has somebody he thinks can be president or should be president. You can't take it from him. He has somebody. So that is also emotion.
You're laughing.
I just laughed at you.
Let me.
No, I laugh at you. If you say Obasanjo is not.
That's what I told you what.
What is he doing? What is he doing now?
He just trying to charge.
Oh, wait. You at a public event. You go, the seat reserved for you, you go and pick a candidate and put him there. What does that mean?
You're asking. The OBJ government also is way behind support for leadership change of the country from north to south. Is that I will say? I just started them.
Let me just start from here. Yes, I've just been very brief about it. I've gone brief about it. When Obasanjo was talking about article the other time, what he wrote in his books. There are certain things Obasanjo did not write in his books that probably would have made him liable, the Canadian liable. Some things, some facts I just imagine now about what article did under Obasanjo, which Obasanjo did not talk about, which Obasanjo just browsed over because he didn't want to be the Canadian liable for not taking action at that time. That's number one. Number two, Obasanjo is saying now that president should be rotated. Is that not emotional? Is that not emotional? That's purely emotional. You have been talking about integrity. You have been talking about real core values that we need in the president. That's what you have been talking about. Not rotational. But by the time you're talking about rotational, you're not talking about the best candidate.
We are talking emotional.
You have been emotional. So whatever he says about your speaking should be taken with a pinch of salt. Oh yes.
He's a politician. He's a politician.
And that's politics in his blood.
He's not going, but he has a former president. He has somebody in mind that he thinks can do things better.
Well, we hope to be back in the district tomorrow.
And we don't hold it against him. He's a Nigerian. He has someone he thinks can do it better. Fine. It must end there. But it's an emotional issue. Politics is emotional.
Maybe I appreciate our veterans, our leaders, for being here again today.
Thank God once again for taking us to the end of this.
And I thank God for your life.
Yeah.
Solid.
Thank you very much. I can promise that next week I'll be there.
We will pray that you will always be there for us and for your family.
By God's grace.
Yeah, that's why I say I pray.
Okay. No, when you pray, you can.
It's the grace of God.
No, but when you mention God, that's when you.
By the grace of God. On tomorrow, when we hope to be back in the newsroom. My name is Olada Alani. Bye bye.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. In the newsroom, you can't afford to miss it.